If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
This bulletin, Fiji stands a good chance of making it to the Rio Olympic Games following epic victory in Hong Kong last night. Police officers to receive promised payout. And academic Dr. Lyle reapplies to enter Fiji. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Fiji's drubbing of New Zealand and Hong Kong gave the national side its first back-to-back titles and may have lit the way to next year's Olympics in Rio. The 33-19 final over New Zealand saw Fiji off to a fast start. Chalindau Vakavaka has more.
Fiji got off to a flying start in the Hong Kong Sevens Cup final against old enemy New Zealand.
Counter-ruck is good. You heard it from the referee. Simi Kunatani. Jerry Tuwai. His twinkling feet. Oh, intercept. Rawatha again. Seven after Rawatha, his second try. It'll be 19 and probably 21-0.
A little bit lost for words. Tactically, we were really astute there. I was really pleased with the way they managed that final. Defended at the right pace, didn't jump in on tackles, scored when we needed to, that final killer blow probably, and outstanding by the team.
The Kiwis, who are known to never give up, came back strong in the second spell.
Simi Kunatani. New Zealand probed and found the gap.
But Fiji was not to be undone, as tries from replacements Tsasa Vermalua and Apisai Ndomalailai was enough to seal the deal.
Beautiful run here by Nasila Sila off the bench as well. And now here is Rabubu. He's already got a try and he's going to do it again. He passed it off to
The people back home, we've been wearing black armbands because before we came, there's one of the guys in the 15th, Fiji Warriors, he died in his sleep. So this is for Mele, we know he'll be proud, watching from heaven. And to all the people back home, thank you for your support. And this is to all the children in Fiji. It's Palm Sunday back home, so happy Palm Sunday to the children back home.
Fiji now moves up to second spot on the points table with 108, 2 behind leaders South Africa and 1 ahead of New Zealand. With 3 tournaments remaining, Fiji stands a good chance of winning the series and qualifying for the Rio Olympics. Chalindau Vakavaka, FBC Sports.
A fruitful Easter weekend for police officers who will receive their payout this Thursday. Government has approved the distribution of $16 million to officers who served in the force from 2004 to 2011.
The wait is almost over for 3,600 police officers who have been promised a payout as part of the job evaluation exercise. Commissioner of Police Ben Grunewald told FBC News the payment will be made this week.
What it means is that the majority of these people's payment will be done electronically into their bank accounts. For those people who do not have bank accounts, payment will be due manually by means of a check. And then we have the payment of the deceased people that will be allowed to be paid to the next of kin on confirmation of their identity.
The team tasked to look into the payout is facing problems in verifying account numbers. Officers who will not receive their allocation through bank accounts will be given checks.
How that will be done is, unfortunately, they can only be paid out by the accounting officer in my office. So we will make arrangements What we are going to do is that we will circulate through a press statement the contact particulars of my office. That will be an email address that they can inquire.
Of the 3,663 officers to receive the payout, 2,448 are still serving and 1,215 have either resigned, retired or who have passed on after 2004. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
The attitude of drivers continues to be a major factor in road fatalities. This comes following the death of 5 people in 2 accidents over the weekend.
These are the pictures of the horrific accident yesterday where 2 adults and a child died. It's believed the vehicle veered off the road in Navo, Nandi and landed under a railway bridge. On Saturday, a 50-year-old woman from Sacramento in the United States and a 22-year-old Nandi woman lost their lives in an accident in Singatoka.
The reason why these cases or the accidents have occurred was just down to things that we have highlighted on numerous occasions that people need to look at seriously and change the way they behave on our roads. Now this goes for all drivers, pedestrians, all road users in general. We're not pointing the finger at any one particular party. We just think that there needs to be a change in mindset as to how and who is responsible for road safety.
2 drivers from each of the accidents are in hospital and police are waiting for them to be discharged to take their statements. FBC News has compiled pictures, these pictures of accidents that have occurred only this month. They are from various parts of Fiji. This one from Vatukarasa in the Coral Coast was taken around noon today. It's believed the vehicle collided with a 10-wheeler truck. The Land Transport Authority believes it's all down to simple ignorance.
Unfortunately, it's attitude, it's ignorant, it's all this behavior from the motorists that continue to cause these fatal accidents that are occurring. For the 5 that happened over the weekend, this is a very, very unfortunate situation for us.
Statistics have shown speeding, dangerous driving and negligent pedestrians' behavior as well as unsupervised children are some of the main causes of fatalities.
Last 10 or probably the last 9 accidents that we've had, it happened here in the Central Eastern Division.
The road death toll stands at 18 following the 2 accidents over the weekend. This is 4 more than the same period last year. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Former Fiji citizen Professor Lyle has made a new application to be allowed back into Fiji. Sakio Sanaivor reports the academic has been advised to reapply for an entry visa.
Speaking to FBC News via telephone from Australia, Professor Lyle confirmed filing a visitor's visa for him and his wife last week.
I wrote to the Director of Immigration, Mr. Namani Buniwanga, immediately restating my case and my wife's case for readmission or being allowed to return to Fiji. This was last week. I haven't received any response yet from Mr. Boniwanga or the Immigration Department generally. But I suppose they have received my note and they're acting on it. That's the best I can assume.
Lyle was declared a prohibited immigrant in 2009 for opposing the then Bainimarama government's move towards a democracy after the events of 2006. He is hoping for some good news this time around.
The protocol, from what I read from the minister's statement, was that he would be advised by the Director of Immigration and he would then act on that advice or not act on that advice. So following that protocol, I wrote to the Director of Immigration.
Questions have been sent to Director of Immigration, Nimani Buniwanga. Sakyusa Nebua, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, Nasinu family loses 2-bedroom home in a fire.
Oya wa tisoni dalai. Gonga yang masih don. Nama jikirau bena tolu kena betu. Ena biar kami moli jikena parombuka. Gori ana lali ne kami. Bula FM number 2 ena seri.
My name is Luca. Molly the Classic Hits. I hope you're having fun so far. You're listening to The Ride, and I'm Kara, taking you through your afternoon. Stay with me to listen to more awesome classics right here on The Ride. Bulabinaka for awesome sounds in the afternoon. Wonderful, wonderful classics. Join me on The Ride every weekday right here on Gold FM, Molly the Classic Hits from 2 to 7.
Just don't ask me what it was. I think it's 'cause
Welcome back. This is FBC News. 452 dengue cases have been recorded so far this year, and the Ministry of Health is now planning to introduce guppy fish to combat the deadly disease. Guppies feed on mosquito larvae breeding in stagnant water. It was introduced as a pilot project in December last year. According to the Vector Control Unit, the process was quite successful as they recorded a decrease in mosquito larvae in places where guppy fish were introduced. Guppy fish eat up to 10 mosquito larvae in a day and is adaptable to the environment. A two-bedroom home in Nandera-Nasinu has been destroyed by fire. Watisoni Raikandroka reports no one was inside when the blaze started.
This was the scene in Duvula Place, Nandera last night as emergency teams responded to the fire. National Fire Authority Chief Executive Officer John O'Connor says they received an emergency call at around 9:30 p.m.
Our team from Worley immediately responded. When they arrived in the scene, they noted a lean-to house well engulfed with flames. The team then fought the fire and stopped the fire.
The occupants of the house were away in the west when the blaze started. Neighbors who were watching the Hong Kong Sevens alerted the NFA after they saw the property on fire. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro confirms an investigation has been launched. The house belonged to a 55-year-old man and his family of 4. They've lost everything in the blaze. The authorities are calling on Fijians to always take fire safety seriously. Watisoni Rekanroka, FBC News.
The Legal Aid Commission is conducting a 3-day workshop on the Family Law Act. The training is designed to upskill legal aid lawyers about the Act and its provisions. Edwin Nund reports.
These Legal Aid Commission lawyers provide free legal services to people who can't afford it. A majority of their services deal with family law, divorce, child maintenance, domestic violence restraining orders and the like.
You should also remember, ladies and gentlemen, that Legal Aid now provides premium service. As such, the expectation in terms of service delivery from you as lawyers is of a very high standard.
Because of the socio-economic background of people who need legal aid, many aren't fully briefed on the law. Koya, who himself is a lawyer, says every effort should be made to ensure that family law is understood by everyone.
You must also keep in mind that the clients that come to legal aid are those who are somewhat uneducated or have no understanding of the legal system at all. We therefore have to show compassion at times, take time to explain things to them so that they fully understand how legal aid can assist them.
The training is highly technical and realistic since it's being conducted by a High Court judge and a magistrate from the Family Court Division of the Judiciary.
In our endeavor to serve the many impoverished Fijians of this country, it has become important that the Legal Aid Commission attend to its capacity building and in enhancing its productivity.
The Commission has recently broadened its services and now covers criminal as well as some civil matters. The Trade Minister has assured that he will continue to lobby for more legal aid funding in the years to come. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
Staff of the Fiji Development Bank have held a fundraiser for victims of Tropical Cyclone Pam in Vanuatu. Their campaign was successful, and today a $1,000 cheque was donated to Save the Children Fiji. The funding will contribute to the work of the NGO in Vanuatu, helping families with food, water and safety, which in the long term build resilience.
Donations came as far as from Tavioni, our branches in the Western Division, in the Central Division,
And I mean, because we've seen the devastation of tropical cyclone Pam, and as a good neighbor, as a responsible financial institution, we thought that what little we could collect to donate to these, I think is going to really go a long way.
The donation adds to the concern and assistance from groups and institutions in Fiji. And sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up in sports, more from the Hong Kong Sevens, and Mr. Fantastic Manuve Tambakaldoro sets a new 200-meter national record. Details after the break.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Boulevard. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
छू 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 हे हे नमस्ते फीजी आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे मिर्ची इट्स हॉट
Well, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens side won the Hong Kong title last night. Earlier in the day, they fought tooth and nail to win the semi-final clash against South Africa. It was a brutal encounter as the two teams topping the points table went head-to-head.
Tuai just steps. Oh, magical from Fiji, and the first try is from Jerry Tuai, who escapes the clutches. Intercepted by Kalina Sal. The Fijian captain is on fire here. And then the lazy gate and running Semi Kunatani in for a double. Fiji in the lead. Can they go for a killer blow right on the half-time hooter? Big step by Kutanabao, and he's over. But he gets the support of Tuai. And Tuai dots down. Held up by Carl Brown. So strong, Brown. Chris Dry is in on the action. Trying to get the ball out. Penalty for South Africa. Try goes for it. Sinatla's in for a try though. South Africa still want to be part of this competition.
Fiji now finds itself in a tough pool for the Tokyo Sevens this weekend alongside England, Wales and Hong Kong. New Zealand is top seed in Pool B against Australia, Scotland and Portugal, while South Africa leads Pool C and Samoa Pool D. Watemo Ravavo's proud mother, Asinate Ravavo, shed tears of joy when the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team defeated New Zealand to win the Hong Kong Sevens last night. Josephine Navula caught up with the mother of two who shared the happiness of her son's achievement.
And now here's Ravuvu. He's already got a try and he's going to do it again.
Saulaka led Watemo Ravavo did his family proud by playing his heart out for the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team in the cup win in Hong Kong last night. Proud mother Asinati Rabobo says her son had always aimed to don the white jersey someday.
Whenever he watches the Fiji Sevens team play on TV, he usually tells me that one day he will also don the white jersey. And I thank him for his determination all throughout the years till where he is now.
Ever since he was a child, Rabovo had a passion for rugby.
His talent started showing when he was attending Ratunawola, and then he played for Nandi and then Westfield, and then he moved up to represent the national team.
He was also sickly when he joined the team last year, but that didn't stop his mother from supporting him in his love for rugby.
He felt sick. I didn't lose or stopped him from playing rugby, but I kept thanking God for always looking after and guiding him this far.
Bravovo is also part of the squad that will be looking for another win at the Tokyo Sevens this weekend. Josephine Vula, FBC Sports.
Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tambakaudhoro has set a new national 200-meter record. Running in the Australian Athletics Championships, he won the final, clocking in at 20.63 seconds. In the process, Tambakaudhoro broke his old mark of 20.94 seconds set in the heats. He also equaled Fiji's 100 meters record of 10.266 seconds at the meet. Tambakaudhoro will also try for new records when he takes part in the Sydney Championships tomorrow. Suva has once again claimed the Fiji Games title. The capital city dominated athletics, karate and taekwondo and completed the games with 66 gold, 58 silver and 52 bronze medals. Rotuma and Levuka finished second and third respectively. This year's games were also used by many federations as the final trials for July's Pacific Games in PNG. The Rewa football side held league leaders Jacks 90 to a 1-all draw in the Rewa Galaxy Premier League over the weekend. Epeli Saukuru gave the Delta Tigers an early lead, but Nandi kept pressing for an equalizer. Samuel and Runru eventually pulled one back for the Green Machine from the penalty spot. Despite the draw, Nandi still leads the league standings with 21 points. That is your sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
About 180 visitors are expected to arrive on Jetstar's inaugural flight from the Gold Coast in Australia to Fiji tomorrow. The flight will operate between Coolangatta and Nadi. Tourism Fiji says this new route between the two countries is expected to benefit the tourism industry and boost the economy by attracting more tourists from Australia. Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya will welcome the visitors when the flight arrives at 3:20 p.m. Jetstar is an Australian low-cost airline headquartered in Melbourne and a wholly owned subsidiary of Qantas. Fine weather conditions prevailed over most parts of the country today. A trough of low pressure lies over the southern part of Western Kiribati and extends southeastwards over Tokelau, Samoa and southern Cooks. Lambasa recorded the highest temperature for the day, hitting 33 degrees on the chart. Savu was the lowest with 29 degrees. Suva, Lautoka and Ba all recorded 31 degrees. Tomorrow you can expect fine weather to prevail over all centres except for some brief afternoon showers in Suva and Savu. Further outlook, fine weather apart from brief or afternoon showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. And recapping our headlines, Fiji stands a good chance of making it to the Rio Olympic Games following an epic victory in Hong Kong last night. Police officers to receive promised payout this week, and academic Dr. Lyle reapplies to enter Fiji after being banned. Now to the results of our poll question. Last week we had asked, can Fiji win the Hong Kong Sevens with the current lineup? 6% said no, and 94% said yes, and we rightly did. This week we are asking, are you satisfied with the services of your municipal councils? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. And that's our bulletin today. Join the team again at the same time tomorrow. Till then, ni mo demanda.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। है दोस्तों, मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल। आप रात के बाद हमारे साथ अब रफ्तार प्रोग्राम में 3 से लेकर रात 7 के बीच शामिल हो सकते हैं। मिर्ची FM, इट्स हॉट।